tomorrow when the O-line gets to work out. So I'm excited for everyone.
Talking about the future of the O-line,
I would say
obviously you and Hunter, Olu, all going to be gone, so it's going to be a transition. Who are some guys that we should be watching for that we haven't seen too much of yet?
What don't they know? I'd say like top 3 easy picks would be Drew Shelton, Anthony
my guys
Dacco,
up every
and
game,
Salim
week in and week out.
Those are guys that are really starting to come into themselves.
I'm a vocal leader, and I like to go out there and do it by example.
Things
so,
like that. So
that's what I feel like.
I know next season for those guys are going to be extremely crazy seasons. They're going to put them on the board and really boost their stock up.
I've cross-trained.
I'd say a sleeper pick is one of the guys that we just had come in, Cooper Cousins.
Left tackle, right tackle, left guard, right guard.
And he's, from what I've heard, he's a baller. So I'm excited to see what he does as well.
Yeah, so obviously Anthony came in as a true freshman last year. What did you see from him?
That would be a blessing, man. Coach Craig gave me the opportunity of a lifetime.
Donko's a really versatile guy as well. Came in starting at guard.
Him coming down to MG and watching me work out and giving me an offer.
Kind of got under my wing, and I was able to teach him some tackle.
Him seeing the potential that I had,
he was able to get in. I could really great reps against an SEC team. So I'm excited to see what
opportunity that he gave me.
He's a quick learner, really smart guy, really strong guy. So
definitely helped me a lot at the next level. Craig helped me a lot in college.
Who's the toughest guy you saw in practice every day?
He can definitely mold me a little bit more. And
it's hard to pick.
I would look forward to meeting up.
We had a really stacked defense. I'm gonna have to say a mix of chop.
It was great talk.
Chop speed and his power.
What is your favorite pregame song?
Obviously, we saw him run that.
I would say
that shows
Dreams and Nightmares by Nick Mill.
And then Adisa, he's a smart guy. Really great with his hands. So being able to have that mix of Marquise Pouncey and me and Olu this year.
Who would be the leader of that defense this year?
My older brother.
It's a tough say.
Just because. Like
I would say, like, at Penn State, we have a really good way of
go through the same process.
Everyone being a leader in their own way. So some people live by example. Some guys are full leaders. Some guys are more leaders off the field.
And what should you be rated on that?
I would say like
I would say a decent chopper. The leaders of the D-line room. We had like Curtis Jacobs at linebacker.
Yeah, man, Jaden. One thing
the toughest guy you saw in a game this past year?
Jaden is he's a cool, calm, collected kid. Never gets too high, never gets too low. Great size, speed, great individual, great person. Really, everybody knows he's great at football, but
what was your favorite memory of your time in college?
Kid, and a fun person to be around.
My favorite memory was probably my first whiteout game start versus Auburn in 2021. 2020, it was a COVID season, so we didn't have any fans. So that Auburn game where we won, me and Rashid had clean sheets. It was just a really awesome
definitely
game.
Emory Jones and Will
especially
Campbell.
with an SEC opponent, just couldn't get any better.
Emory is just a nasty
Have you met with Tampa Bay
player,
this week?
Nasty, does everything right on and off the field. Great kid, great personality, man. I couldn't wait enough about him. Also, the same thing with Will, man.
Have you met with the Steelers, and was it a formal or an informal?
Great kid.
If so.
Just great all-around players and great people.
At what point did you realize Will was like the real deal?
Yeah, definitely Will and Emory. The point that I realized they were real deal when they came in there.
And how'd that go?
I was able to show my football knowledge, talk about some
I would say Makai Wingo and
talk about my guy
Mason
Yep.
and Jordan Jefferson.
Yeah, so when you reflect about your time at Penn State, and as a leader specifically, what is something that you think, this is really a point that I was able to get across well with my teammates, if that makes sense?
I would say McKinley Jackson from Texas.
the ability to
low center of gravity, a little bit heavier interior defensive line.
my first few years.
Real stout, real strong.
Being able to show guys that, like,
But
if you just dig your
he
head
had
in,
great
work on specific
competition.
things every day in practice,
Make with you to your NFL team.
get right off the field, whether it's
Emory
nutrition,
Jones.
film study, prehab,
Nasty
things like
player,
that.
like I told you, man.
Being
He
able to show
has
those
that
guys
attitude
that,
that you want in the offensive
success is
lineman.
attainable through
Great
hard work.
leadership tangibles. Also,
I
young
was
kid,
able to
but also,
become more of a
handles his
vocal
business
leader.
like a grown man.
And things like that are
What will you miss most about
things
your
that you
time
learn.
in LSU?
You're built,
Definitely my guys, man. Definitely the guys that I
was
were
able to
around,
pick up some tips
especially
from
the
other
last
vets
2
that I
years.
had throughout
Those
my
guys
years.
kind of helped
my
mold me
coaches,
into the
just
player
pick
that
up
I
some
am.
really
I
good
couldn't thank those guys enough.
Which vets had the biggest influence on you?
How would you describe Brian Kelly?
Say it's hard to
I
say.
would say
I spent 5 years at Penn State, so I've seen a lot of vets
more
come
of
in
like
and
an
out.
NFL type.
My first few years, I would
definitely
say
more of a
Mike
CEO
Bennett
type.
and Will Fries were my guys.
But
Rasheed
great
Walker,
coach,
Juice
one of the most
Scruggs,
winningest coaches in college football. So he knows what he's
all
doing.
four
He's a
of those
good coach,
guys
and he
shows
does
me
everything
different
right.
aspects of the game.
Playing on the same
that I wouldn't
offense
have
as
learned anywhere
colleague
else,
neighbors,
other
Ryan
than
Hunter Jr. What did you see from those
season
guys
pass
throughout your
like
time there?
Definitely smooth dudes, bro. Like
With all the
smooth
injuries in the
dudes.
NFL, depth
Great
is
character
huge and
kids,
important, and versatility
and
on
just,
the
you know what
O-line.
I'm saying, on the
Where are
field,
you most
lightning,
comfortable,
speed,
and can you move
strong,
around?
You know, if you
Yeah, I
catch
can
the
move
ball,
around.
you
Left
have all the
tackle, left
intangibles to be great at the
right
next level.
guard, right tackle. I'm also planning on picking up some center work.
No, I have
so
not.
I'm a versatile guy.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
left-handed. I played on the right side, which is kind of weird. So I'm really able to do anything. So I'm excited to get to the league and be able to help my team out.
Florida
Whether it be
game.
a tackle or guard. So,
Just display
And every year,
pure
the number of
nastiness,
female
pure
fans is
aggression.
growing. Do you have
That's
some
a
females in your
rivalry
life
game,
that are
so
football
everybody's
fans that
up
have kind
and
of
going
helped
for
you
that
on your
one.
journey?
Even
yeah,
those guys on the
I
other
have
side
a lot
of the
of
ball.
female
So,
friends.
you
I
know,
have two
definitely
brothers
I
at
would say
home,
cut on the
so
Florida team.
honestly, from elementary school till now, a lot of my friends at school are girls. I'm always on a football team as well, so
I would say
I'm
you're
stocked
getting
out with football
a
guys.
hard-working
You
player
know,
first and foremost, a
my
high
mom's a
IQ
really
player,
big football fan as well.
athletic
She
offensive
influenced me a
lineman
lot
who
coming
uses his
up.
reach well
Her
and
passion for
can
the
get to
game. I
his
remember
ankle.
waking up on Saturday mornings. She went to the University of South Carolina.
She
she
couldn't
had the
name all the
TV
people
on
that I met
screaming
with,
at
to be
SEC
honest.
today.
I met with a lot of them, a lot of informal
watching that
interviews, and I
growing
met
up
with a
really
lot
helped me
of
out.
teams and did a lot of formals
Throughout my
at the
career,
Senior
I
Bowl.
just have a lot of friends.
So, yeah, I couldn't really name all
You went to
of them.
Tennessee, right? Tennessee? Penn State.
Yeah, definitely
Why did I think
Marquise
Tennessee?
Pouncey.
I don't know.
That's
I was going to ask you if you
definitely
liked
one
whiskey,
guy
but that's
I'm
not a
out there, and I'm
Pennsylvania
looking up to.
thing.
We have whiskey in PA.
whiskey.
Do
problem.
you watch Kenny Pickett play? What do you think about how he's
Yeah,
doing?
yeah, yeah. Kenny Pickett, he's coming into his own. He's learning. He's picking up things every day. And, that's how you do it.
Thank you.
You mentioned bounces.
Definitely because I feel like we have the same body type.
Yeah, so offensive lineman, obviously you guys don't really have any stats, so there's no career highs, anything like that. So the question, the best game you've ever played, that's really not an obvious answer the way it might be for a lot of the skill positions. So what do you think was the best game you played at Penn State?
Most from him, really. And watching his tape was that attitude and our body type is similar.
Ohio State this year, Iowa this year as well.
Yeah, I have spoken to
UMass
Steelers. One of the Steelers coach actually coached me in the Senior Bowl, so
really
that
good
was
competition.
good
Was
deal.
able to hold my own, really shine
always
in
wanna know
those
that.
games.
Yeah, for
Most
sure.
of all,
It was
able to
definitely
protect my
fun,
quarterback.
seeing him here because it kind of made me more comfortable because he coached, like I told you, he coached me at the Senior Bowl.
You said UMass was one of them? So how can you kind of tell that? Because obviously you mentioned the competition of Ohio State, but UMass, no disrespect, SCS school, not as prominent. How can you kind of tell that you were on that day when you're going against what many would say is lesser competition, if that makes
Trying
sense?
to work on that and do that and get to my ankle quicker. So I feel like I displayed those things at the Senior Bowl. Yeah, that was the feedback that I got from her.
We had a lot of good outside zones that game where I'm dropping guys out of camera view. Had a clean sheet, pass game
Just said they're not
wise.
going to make any rules against it.
Combination.
Is there any block in particular that you find yourself watching over and over again that you made?
That offensive line for the
Like I
Eagles,
said, we
man,
had some good
they're a
outside
solid
zones
offensive
where-
line. Also,
Yeah.
that quarterback is strong.
Getting guys
So
off
you
the-
know,
off the
Jalen
field,
Hurts is
really
a strong
getting out
quarterback.
of camera
So you know, I don't see why they
favorite blocks, I would
would
say,
rule against it. You
whether
know,
it be reach rip
it's a play. You know what I'm saying? That's all I got to say
backside,
about it. It's a good play.
I love those
You know,
blocks
to
where
our
I had a
advantage as
couple
offensive
good ones
linemen,
in
really.
Michigan.
Yeah, I think they should just keep it in there and leave it alone.
The guy in the A gap,
With Jason Kelsey retiring, do you
I was
think
able to do the same
one
thing in
someone
Ohio
else
State
in
as
the
well.
center
So
and they can
I'm a
still
big
do
deuce
it?
block guy.
Or was he maybe a little special?
Yeah, for
really
sure.
love
They could probably
offensive
still do
line
it and plug somebody else in there, but
That's
you
a
know,
really
Jason Kelsey was a special
mid-zone
player, man.
plays,
Nice,
just
gritty,
helmet
low
to
center
helmet,
gravity
lining
type
the
of
guy up,
dude.
driving him, so
You know, great
all those
offensive lineman, and I hate to see.
So
him
Frank
go,
Leonard
but
is a guy that obviously people talk about Coach
you know,
Stroud a lot,
he had a
but
long, great career.
what does he bring to Penn State? Because he's a guy that is more in the background, obviously. So
Every year we get more female fans in that.
Probably one of my greater
Do you have
influences
moms,
these past couple of
sisters,
years.
any women at home that are helping you with
His
your
football knowledge is insane.
No, not really.
His energy is
Just
also
me and my
crazy.
brothers. I don't have any sisters. I have my mom, but she's not really into
Always
football like
high
that. She doesn't know
energy.
too much about it. But
Can't ask for much
yeah, I don't
more
have
than
any
that.
sisters or anything like that.
He's
But
really been
for
a
what I will
driving
say for the
force
women that
for
are in
success.
the game of football, man.
So
thank you guys.
Theo mentioned a few days ago
Appreciate you guys'
Coach K's
aspect of the
offense.
game.
Obviously, you're not going to be playing for Coach K, but he was around the program probably for about a month before you played your last game. From what do you know about him and whatever, I don't know if you watched any tape of Kansas, but what are your impressions of that offense?
From what I've seen, Coach K is going to be a really great influence for our offense. He's a super dynamic guy. He runs similar things that we run. It just looks like his mindset towards the game is going to boost Penn State's offense.
Right. How do you think Drew's year went last season?
I think it went really good for someone going through their first starts and getting comfortable, playing in front of the type of crowds that we play in front of, and just playing college football in general. So I see Drew taking a major step this year. The way his mindset is, the way he works, is really no way for him to fail.
What was the biggest improvement you think that he made from his first start to his last one of the season?
That's a good question. I'd say somewhere in between, his leadership skills and just his sense of calmness that he has in the game. He was never a big freak out guy or anything like that, but the way that he's just calm in the pocket and he's able to be a real field general for us is just can't ask for much more.
Do you have any specific goals for the combine? I know Chop said his goals were a 4.4 or below, and I think 11 broad jump. I don't know if I have that exactly, but do you have any specific goals?
Yeah, I have some crazy ones, and I think the world's going to be shocked at what I do on Sunday. So I'd rather not speak on specific numbers, but I think that everyone's going to be extremely impressed by what goes on Sunday at 3 p.m. So I'm really excited to get out there tomorrow and shock the world.
So when you go through the combine interview process, how do you kind of prepare for that? And is it like a one-size-fits-all thing where, okay, if I know that if I'm prepared to answer these questions are going to be okay, or do you kind of have to look at the teams you're going to be talking to and prepare to answer what you're going to ask based on the team and what do you think they'll ask them?
I feel like either way works for certain people. I like to be super prepared, so I do a lot of research before my meetings. I like to see what type of offenses people run. I like to memorize names of coaches, GMs, owners, assistants. So that's just me. I do feel like it goes either way though. You could go in just with your general football knowledge and do well.
Thanks, Caedan. Never need to